That the forces of communism are not to be underestimated.
Let us pray for the salvation of all of those who live in that totalitarian darkness.
The threat from terrorism is real.
Make America safe again.
The first episode of 24 suggests that the CIA has trouble getting information legally. So sometimes the CIA has to use extra legal ways to make America safe again.
Jamie, if I give you a phone number, could you hack in and get all the internet passwords connected to it?
Sure, if you have a warrant.
And if I didn't have a warrant?
It's important.
It's pretty important.
Go.
Hey, it's me. I got her password.
What is it?
Life sucks, one word.
But anyone who knows anything about the CIA, the FBI, or the NSA knows that the government has always spied on US citizens without warrants, and even if they do have warrants, legal doesn't make it right. This Salon.com article provides examples on 8 times the CIA used American spies to spy on Americans. One of those examples is Project Mockingbird from the Kennedy administration, which was a program to monitor journalists using wiretaps and observation posts to keep tabs on writers who published material the Kennedy administration deemed sensitive. And there are many other cases. Just after 9/11, CIA officers were placed undercover within the New York Police Department in order to spy on Muslims. The evidence was given in a report written by the Inspector General for the CIA, who noticed irregular personnel practices. And because the CIA officers were there secretly, they lacked formal documentation and there was inadequate direction and control. As the CIA reporting shows, even the Inspector General admits there was something off, but it's interesting to see why the Inspector General was concerned. He makes it clear to the CIA director that while negative public perception is to be expected from the revelation of the agency's close and direct collaboration with any local domestic police department, a perception that the agency has exceeded its authorities diminishes the trust placed in the organization. The CIA has always been concerned with public perception of the government and its agencies. One of the goals of the U.S. government is to closely monitor and control public perception. The illegal actions of the CIA are not the main focus for the CIA Inspector General. For him, the possibility that the CIA might have exceeded its authorities is secondary. The important thing is that the CIA must avoid any type of negative public perception which diminishes the trust placed in the organization. Therefore, lies about how good and respectable the CIA really is must be disseminated in the mainstream media. One of the founders of the U.S. propaganda system, Edward Bernays, wrote of the necessity to regiment the public mind every bit as much as an army regiments their bodies. Since World War II, the government has worked closely with Hollywood to make sure U.S. interests are portrayed positively to captive audiences. The director of the Office of War Information during World War II said that the easiest way to inject a propaganda idea into most people's minds is to let it go through the medium of an entertainment picture when they do not realize they're being propagandized.
Believe me, today we've been through some of the real stuff. The fellas are asleep now. They're half dead with exhaustion. They're filthy with sweat and dirt. But take my word for it, Mom. They're grand soldiers, every one of them.
But government help in spreading propaganda through Hollywood did not stop after World War II. Countless examples of state-backed Hollywood propaganda, which include hundreds of movies and over 1,000 shows like NCIS, Homeland, and yes, 24, are given in a book titled National Security Cinema. The book even shows actual script changes by the Department of Defense. One of the authors of the book confirms he was able to acquire the actual notes that different branches of the Department of Defense liaison offices have sent to film or TV producers and said, "This is specifically what we want you to change or remove from your script." It should be clear by now that the CIA is not concerned with being good moral actors. In fact, they are concerned with U.S. economic and military power around the world. One way to maintain this power is to control public perception. The first episode of 24 does a good job of this. In fact, the CIA and other intelligence agencies have permission within the law to spy on Americans. The lie that the CIA finds it difficult to get information because of government laws and regulations, and the lie that the CIA only breaks the law when it's very important, is why this first episode of Season 1 of 24 is propaganda.
And if I didn't have a warrant?